Hello, how is everybody? I'm excited to be here today to share about Margo's Financial Fundamentals Day 2. So I'm wondering if anybody has watched yesterday's video and has any questions. I would love for you to put it on the below chat, and feel free to email as well. I will put that out at the bottom of this video again to make sure that you have everything that you need. Tips 1 to 3 yesterday, were a lot. I hope you guys are enjoying them and doing them, and I would love to help you really just implement them. Each of these days is going to be important to really take the time after the video to really sit down and do them, and to really reflect on the year. Here we are already at October 25th, and the quarter four is already is basically just racing by. I'm coming out of a holiday season where the whole month of September was really jam-packed, and I'm just trying to get into things as quickly as possible. So the tips today are going to be about housekeeping, maintenance, and long-term planning. You can't have one without the other. So now that we checked in on day 1 and I don't see any questions, I'm going to jump into day 2. The first part of day 2 is setting aside for taxes. Most people, when they hear this, they start to shiver, and then their body sweats and all these sorts of things. And even me doing this for, over a decade, the taxes and all those things, really just stress me out if I don't plan properly. You don't plan properly, you don't have enough money, and then you can't pay your bills, and that doesn't feel so good. So it feels like the obvious, but breaking out of a cold sweat, to take care of the tax man is really not a fun idea. So as I've already discussed, it's important to cultivate an accountability mindset. And the same principle applies here. Now, there's no getting around your tax obligations. So each week, I would take your total deposits and I would set aside at least 15% in a separate account and label that bank account called tax savings. Now, you could say 15% is a lot of money, it's a little bit of money, depending on how much you make, it could be both, and you could need more. The only way to know accurate is if you speak with somebody, and if you need help with that, I'm more than happy to help you for an assessment. Now, labeling this account called tax savings would be great, because when you look online at your bank account, you'll see that that's not money that you can touch, that it's not for you, it's for the tax man. Now, a lot of people have strategies with this. They mentally lock this account and they even throw away the key. Meaning, like, you can, if you regularly bank at Chase, you can put it into a different bank account. You could put it in Citibank or whatever, so that you don't look at it and use the money. Now, you could get into an emergency where you do need the money, and then those types of things you're going to have to decide. But not paying the taxes on a regular basis when you're an independent contractor is a very tough thing, because it builds and builds and builds, and then the tax bills can get out of control. And you don't want to find yourself into a debt solution or a tax solution where you need somebody to negotiate the debt. It becomes very complicated. So first part of day 2 is set aside for taxes. Now, part number 2 of day 2 is regular records. This is about doing the little things right. Now, even I at times do things wrong, and it bites me in the face where I, have to take care of it. Now, after all, good quality accounting starts with the accurate records and little bits of pieces of information. So if you're not diligent, mistakes are going to creep in, and it's just going to build up. So like I was sharing in video 1, if you don't take care of your money is not going to take care of you. If you let things accumulate for days and even months, you're only setting yourself up to fail. So doing this stuff daily or weekly is really the best way to get stuff done. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can get done today. Now, it's easier said than done. So if you're having that problem of daily, at least put yourself a date in weekly. Now, when you label that time on the calendar for weekly, you also want to label it in such a time that you're going to attend it. Lots of times we say we're going to start the gym, we're going to go on the treadmill, and all these sorts of things, and then we never do it. And something like this about regular record keeping, it's going to creep up on you if you don't do it every day. And I'll tell you, the one thing I hate to do for myself is to go through my credit card. And each time I do it and I'm behind, I learn that same lesson in a different way or in a stronger way, and I do different things so that I'm not in that situation anymore. Because the worst thing to do is not to be able to take care of your credit card bill and see that the expenses are rolling, and the only person that's responsible is yourself because it's your credit card. Part 3 is monitoring accounts payable. Accounts payable is bills that we have to pay. So if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, these are bills that we have to pay for services that we need to run the show. So it could be rent, it could be utilities, it could be staff. Nobody likes to pay it, but it is a major component of cash flow. So ignore it at your own risk. It's important that you monitor it every single week, whether regardless or not you're working with a CPA or a bookkeeper. You can blame the bookkeeper that she did it wrong. You can blame the CPA that he did it wrong or he's not monitoring you and all these sorts of things. But if you own a business, it's your responsibility at the end of the day. The help is hired and they work for you and you're accountable. So on that note, I find that most clients like to do this on a Friday, but any day will really do. Make a note in your calendar to look through the report in detail so that you don't forget. I have a personal side and a business side. So what was happening for me is that I was doing it both in one sitting, and it was really taking a toll on me. So I split it into 2 different times based on smaller time slots to make it more feasible. Now, keeping track of accounts payable, you'll know where you stand in terms of outgoings and the queue and anything that doesn't look right. So if you're overspending, if you have more money, which is always a great thing, you'll be able to see that right away and for it not to pile up. If you recall in day 1, I was telling you that I had a client who called me for a one-off project, and it was relevant. It was completely clear that he doesn't look through his credit card, even more so why one-off services didn't really work for him, but it took care of his problem at the time. And then now, sorry about that. We'll be having a call next week how to help him on a more regular basis because, support and things piling up is really just not the way to live. And some people have body pains and all types of symptoms when these types of things creep up. And then the tax man benefits and not you. So keeping track of accounts payable, you'll know where you stand and you'll know what looks right and what looks wrong. So now that you have it, you have Margo's fundamentals for day 2. And this could be delivered directly to your email. If you want anything, feel free to put your email below so that I can share it with you. If you're not on our blogs, I'm happy to add you. I would love to, and I would be honored to have you. We have weekly blogs that go out. I think it's twice a week. I'm not sure by now. I think I do it twice a week. And then as you see, my posts regularly. So to review today what we learned, and if you have any questions on live or post this video, please put it below or tag me. I'd be happy to help you. Is set aside for taxes, keeping regular records, and part 3, which is monitoring accounts payable. Now, it's time to take action. You have the tips for day 2 of the fundamentals for financials, and it's up to you to take action. It's similar to working with a client and blaming you that you did things wrong. You have the tips, now it's up to you to take the action. And if you need support, feel free to reach out so that I can give you things to help you at that next level. So any questions, again, let me know. I would love to help you, and stay tuned. I have it posted for day 3, which is next week. I think it's Tuesday. Then I'm going to do day 3. I wanted to space it out over the weekend and Monday to give you a little bit of time. And I am excited to hear back. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.